Yep, it's time for another handful of hidden gems for the wonderful Game Boy Advance.
Northeast! They're taking the hobbits to Isengard!
If the Rings of Power left a bad taste in your mouth, and you fancy a orc slashing, Middle-earth dungeon crawling good time, then the GBA tie-in to Return of the King is a must play. While we all have fond memories of the console Lord of the Rings games, this little beauty is often forgotten, and that's a shame as this Diablo/Gauntlet inspired title is packed with a wealth of content and a true love of the source material it's based on. This game not only has a healthy amount of characters to choose from, but each character has their own strengths and weaknesses too, which in turn forces the player to strategize and take advantage of the movesets unique to that specific character. For example, Legolas is obviously handy with a bow and arrow, so the key to victory when playing with the elf is strafing and ranged attacks. Not only does each character feel vastly different from one another, they also get their own unique campaign that is extremely different from the others. These touches add a ton of replayability to the title and also make the excellent co-op a real treat as you and your friend combine your specific movesets to devastating effect. If that wasn't enough, the game also has a beastly amount of customization and character skills to upgrade too, so resource management is key here. Weapons, armor, clothing can all be equipped or traded, meaning you'll have to be smart in what you use so that your combat skills are at their peak. All this and the portability factor make the game well worth picking up. Unlike his Italian rival, the blue blur known as Sonic hasn't quite had the same success jumping into other genres, and a lot of the time, if he isn't going fast, gamers just don't pay attention. But I'm here to tell you that not only does Sonic Battle have one of the best stories in any Sonic title, it is also one of the most enjoyable games on the GBA. At the game's heart, Sonic Battle is a simple 2.5D brawler with super satisfying combat, a ton of distinct and varied movesets, and a decent amount of character options. But it's when you add that gameplay with the strong, charming, and occasionally laugh out loud story, as well as the super creative and gorgeously realised overworld, and not to forget the RPG customization for your new Robo character, that Sonic Battle becomes something special. Everything from the interactions and dialogue to each fighter's movesets gives off so much character and likability and just brings you into the world and makes you root for everything that's going on. I'm not even the biggest Sonic fan, but quickly found myself so engrossed in the game's world, and even when the game gets a little bit repetitive, the writing alone kept me battling on. So if you're tired of going fast and just want to punch some of your favourite characters instead, well, go out and spend some of your hard-earned rings on this one. Growing up in the 90s was pretty special. Not only did we get some of the best cartoons ever, but basically anything popular came with a boatload of merchandise and most importantly, video game adaptations. Medabots is no different, but a lot of people wrongly rip both the show and games off as just Pokemon clones, whereas in fact, even though Medabots does share some Pokemon DNA and could be plainly labelled as Pokemon with robots, to me, it stands on its own two metal feet in quite a number of ways. Firstly, as each Medabot is made up of different parts that are completely interchangeable and upgradable, which in turn leads to a greater amount of strategy and thought into how you equip your little robot pals. Secondly is the meta battles themselves. These battles are a lot more layered and have a lot more depth applied to them, as you not only can attack multiple times in a row if your Medabot's fast enough, but you can also target a specific enemy part for maximum damage. It sounds a little complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's an absolute blast, and when you win a battle, you even get gifted a Medabot Part 2. So yeah, the battles are awesome. The rest of the game is made up of side quests, exploring, and talking to NPCs, while obviously trying to defeat the big bad of the game. The story is simple yet fun, and also packs quite a ton of humour, and the world is well designed with a solid amount to do. If you're a huge fan of the OG Pokemon games, and want to try something that builds on that much beloved foundation, then you could do a lot worse than Medabots. Right, This is more of an honourable mention than a genuine gem, but I had to include Open Season due to the game being such a standout visually. The gameplay, however, is your basic platformer you've played before. You walk forward, jump on stuff, and nab the odd collectible. It's not terrible, but there are much better platformers on the system. But if, like me, you love your retro portable games to look insanely gorgeous, then I suggest you pick this one up. It is based on a pretty forgettable animated movie. I mean, I do have fond memories of the films because of this weird cat character that has, how do I put this? Issues. Yeah. Just look at this.
Save him! Oh, I want to go save him! Oh, please, 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 please.
See what I mean? Anyway, I'm going off point. A cute platformer with some interesting ideas, average yet relaxing and simple gameplay, but with some knock your socks off pixel art. That's why Open Season makes this GBA list.
This is Rock, and I just got a chance to play the new game, The Scorpion King. And let me tell you, this game is awesome. This game is electrifying. This game is kicking ass and taking names.
Who else but WayForward Studios could turn a bang average movie into an incredibly fun piece of portable art? Yes, it's become a staple on these lists, but the masters of the hidden gems, WayForward Studios, have done it again. They have taken elements of incredible older titles like Super Mario and Castlevania and fused them with a licensed property to give us gamers a real treat. Scorpion King, Sword of Osiris, is a sequel story to the 2002 movie and has your character exploring and fighting his way through 8 levels of side-scrolling goodness in the hunt for the legendary Sword of Osiris. The game controls are impressively fluid here, and there's a ton of depth in its combat mechanics, not only letting you wield different magical abilities that can be harnessed by collecting magic gems throughout the game to make you the ultimate weapon, but also by giving the player 2 main weapons that have standard, lunge, and charge attacks. This and the excellent risk and reward platforming exploration, secrets, and immersive boss battles make this game a true licensed standout for the system.
To make any kind of sense of it, I need to go back 3 years. Back to the night the Payne started.
Porting the ultra-violent, grim and gritty world of the original Max Payne with its dark noir story, thrilling intense gunfights, and slow-mo diving to the Game Boy Advance with its limited hardware should have been impossible, but somehow Mobius Entertainment pulled it off, and it honestly looks, plays, and sounds fantastic. The game is even packed with fully voiced cutscenes, which is such a rarity on the GBA. And yeah, it's just as violent as you would want it to be, tapping the slow-mo trigger and unleashing lead and the red stuff everywhere is oh so satisfying and is made even more enjoyable by the game's simple yet intuitive controls and the cinematic standout animations. It's all jaw-dropping stuff, and whether you're a fan of the Max Payne series or not, this extremely adult-themed shooter is a must-play. Thanks for watching the Beardy Beer Bros Hidden Gem Show. Until next time, you guys stay tipsy.